Hi developers, in this video we will learn how to use maps with Xamarin Forms. Then we will go through some tips and advices when working with maps. So let's get started and let's see how we can install or how we can use maps with Xamarin Forms. So here I have Xamarin Forms project, and for me to be able to add maps to Xamarin Forms, I should go to my solution, right click and manage NuGet packages for solution and go and look for Xamarin Forms maps. Because here maps it's only available through NuGet packages, it doesn't came by default in Xamarin Forms packages. So you should install it as another NuGet package available here, so through xamarin.forms.maps, and you should here install the map in all our projects. I already have done that, and after doing that I'll be able to use the maps control. So here I have added the map control inside the sample map page here. So here I have created that instance. I have created a new map. I have set the center position of that map to this location, and set also the distance to be 0.5 miles. With maps, by default we have this element called pin, and pin is those elements you see here. So in each time I click on a pin, I get this tooltip. I don't have that tooltip in Windows, but I have it in Android project. So for each tooltip here we can create a pin for each tooltip. So here we have that first pin that have a certain position and have a label and address. We have created some of the pins here so that we can display them inside this map. So those are the basic elements or basic and native UI elements that came with the maps control. But if you want to do more than this, then you should go and use custom renders to customize your pins. So here I have this other page. Here, for example, you see I have customized the look of the pins, and I have also customized that tooltip that will be shown with each tip. The same thing for Android and for Windows. So to be able to customize these ones, we should go and use custom renders. So here I have this in my universal project, in my UWP project. I have implemented this custom renders that uses Bing Maps and uses the UI elements related to Windows UWP. So instead of using the pin here, I'm using the map icon, which is an element specific to Windows UWP. And for Android project, I have done almost the same thing. Here I have implemented a custom render. You know it's a custom render through using of this attribute here, assembly export renderer. So here it will change my custom map by this one, by this custom map render that is displaying a view. This view contains the Google map, as here I'm working on Android project, and inside that Google map will add the pins which are in my Android project, which are markers. So here you see I'm using the marker as a pin. Let's get So the markers will be the native pins in Android project. So I don't want to go through this code line by line, but because you can find this code here and with more details in Xamarin Forms blog here. So you go to this URL to find all details about this application. You find also the source code of this sample, and you also find the article and the source code of the custom map renderer, which is hosted on their GitHub account. Instead, I'll go and mention some important things when working with maps. The first of all is getting the API key. So for the Android project, for example, you should go to your application and add the API key inside your application element. So here you get that API key. And also you have to don't forget to add the access permission. So here I'm adding the location permissions related to the location and to the Wi-Fi state, so that which are required by the maps. I can do that in a very good way if I go to my Android project, right click and go to properties, then here select Android options or Android manifest, and in Android manifest you should get this required permissions. Here you add all the permissions required by the maps. You can find these details of course in this article by Xamarin Forms. So this is for the Android project, and the same thing is for UWP project. You will have in the article a link to Bing Maps portal, in which you can get a Bing Maps API key, which you will use and embed inside your app.xaml.cs project. Then of course you should go to the app manifest, which is called package.app manifest in Windows UWP. Go to capabilities and add the capabilities required by the maps, which are the location here. At the end you will have these application where you can add pins with tooltips here, and of course you can go and customize these tooltips. You can include the text and the images you want for each platform. Now let's discuss some things to consider when using maps in Xamarin Forms. So as you have seen here in the first page, maps are not fully supported in Xamarin Forms. So you see here with the maps control I'm able to add pins and only pins. I can't, for example, go and change these pins and if I don't use custom renders. So the support of maps in Xamarin Forms is still not that really mature. For that, if you want to add some other functionalities or some features that are not implemented by default, then that means you will have to go and write lots and lots and lots of code, and so that you can include these functionalities. And especially if you are a beginner, I think that will be a little bit harder to do, because you will have to add this the code related to that functionality for your Android, for your Windows UWP project, for your Windows 8.1 project, and then for your iOS project, so that targeting these three platforms and writing the code specific to each platform is really not that really easy task. So I just advise you to keep your work with maps as simple as possible. So for example, here in maps you can use that the fact that the pins are clickable. You can click on a pin and you can capture that click event. So instead of showing the tip here each time you click on that icon, you can go and add some user control on top of your map, and each time you click on the tip you will show the information on that user control instead of showing it on, as a tooltip here. So again, keep working with maps with Xamarin Forms as easy as possible, and don't make things complicated. Try just to keep it simple. That way you will save yourself from writing lots and lots of code in order to add that functionality in maps. And again here you can get the code related to these examples in this website here. Okay, and also, so here I want to add also that after when you want to test your maps on the Android emulator or the Windows emulator, it will work for your Windows emulator, but for one Android emulator you will be required to install the Google services, Google Play services, because the emulator here doesn't come by default with Google Play services installed, so you have to go and install that. There is here also a blog in Xamarin Forms, in Xamarin University, where here they will explain how to install that Google Play services. So here mainly it's just downloading that package and drag and drop it inside your emulator. That way the emulator will read that zip file and it will install it, so that you can get the Google Play services. Then you will be able to run your maps inside Xamarin Forms. So I hope this was helpful for you, and thank you.